Clarissa Burt here. We are back in the limelight, and I've got another extraordinary lady that I really want you all to meet. She's as cute as she is classy. There's not too much she hasn't done. She's an extremely intelligent woman and a great leader, and you're going to love to meet her as much as I have loved talking to her. She is a visionary who is bringing design to life. We're going to talk a lot more about that. She writes and she speaks, of course, she coaches, she leads teams. And when she's not doing all of that, she lives her life out loud as an adventure-seeking, roller coaster loving, jump out of the plane first spirit. I've jumped out of a plane. I'll never do it again. I still have the scars to prove it. She's also been named one of the top 20 African-American interior designers in the United States. Extraordinary. And she's the winner of the 2024 Nautilus Book Club Awards for Business and Leadership for her book, In High Heels on a Ladder, The 7 Power Tools for Designing Your Life. Everybody, welcome Tonya Cromer. Yay! There she is. Hello.
Hi.
Where are you beaming in from?
I'm beaming in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, your old stomping ground.
Yes, we're all Philly girls. I was telling you before we went live that I had somebody else on today that was from Philly, and it's just so good to just be, playing at home a little bit. We're all out in the world, we're all doing our things, and we come back to Philly, we just have that special feeling about us. Well, it's welcome to the show to you.
It is a pleasure.
And I absolutely love what you do. We're going to talk about your book. We're going to talk about all the lovely things that you do, because I just was having such a good time on your website. It's just glorious. Everything that's on there, your interior design, we'll talk about how that happened. But in all of this, let's go directly to the forefront, and then we'll back up a little bit. You are really, really a woman's advocate. A woman's advocate for feeling worthy, for self-esteem, for personal development, and for her greater good. So give me a little bit of your backstory and how we came to that.
Absolutely. So I hit rock bottom. Well, let me back up even farther, because there's a context here. I was born homeless, Clarissa. My mother didn't have a home to take me to when she gave birth to me.
Okay.
And eventually my mother, someone heard my mom's cry on a park bench and led my mother to the government housing authority, where we could get housing with public assistance. And that's where I grew up, in a government housing project. I didn't know my father. I was raised by a single mother. I was abused as a child. I was bullied by popular girls in school and those in my neighborhood. And generally speaking, I felt different as a child. And it was the bullying incident in which I defined who I felt I am, how I felt I belonged and didn't belong in the world. And almost all of us do this when we're children.
Yes, of course.
And the definition I gave myself was, I don't matter. That's how I saw myself, as fitting in or not fitting in the world around me. So now fast forward, I was intelligent. I was a go-getter. And as a little child, I was able to excel and have some success. I was a great student. So I graduated top of my high school class. I went to college. I went to a private liberal arts school and graduated top in the class there. And then I went off and earned an MBA. And all along, I'm building my career, having great success. So someone would see me as a high achiever.
Yeah, of course.
Until the day came when I had built my interior design business. I was growing my design business, and I reached a pinnacle in design, in which I was named one of the top 20 African-American interior designers, actually 2 years in a row.
Amazing.
And I crashed and burned and hit my version of rock bottom, Clarissa. See, what happened was, I was off in the world having this success, but still running the show was the little girl who felt she didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment the world said, yes, you matter so much, you're one of the best, I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't process that internally. It was emotional disruption that happened inside of me, because how can I live in these two worlds? A world in which I believe I don't matter, and a world in which I'm out proving that I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's a conundrum, isn't it?
It is a conundrum. And so that set emotion for me, a journey, a healing journey in which I came to know myself, know my truth, and I began to do work to heal all those wounds, the emotional wounds of residue from being a child who was abused and bullied and fatherless.
And where did you start with that? Was it books, courses, classes, friends, faith?
Oh my gosh, Clarissa, I did it all. I did it all. I trained with some of the best spiritual leaders around the world. I trained with emotional intelligence training programs throughout the world. I traveled the globe. I even went and did work in the woods and tribal land in which we we chanted.
I
and
haven't
played
done that
drums.
because I'm highly allergic. Okay. It's always been on my to-do list. But yeah, I mean, all the things, right? All the
I
things
did
that,
it all. Yeah. And what I
And-
learned on the journey, Clarissa, was not only am I dealing with this internal struggle,
Mhm.
all of these other people around me are having their own internal struggle too. So what I'm experiencing might be unique to me. I have my own story.
Yeah.
But the challenge that we're experiencing, especially women, is very common.
Yes.
And so
Absolutely.
as I was doing this work and learning all of these things, I realized at one point that it was too good to keep to myself. I had to share this with others. I had to share this with women, especially because we need this kind of healing in order to do the work I believe we need to do to serve this world wholly.
Yeah, and I love hearing that. It's just you just ringing every bell over here because again, I wrote a book also about self-esteem. Absolutely had to do it because not because I'm an extraordinary writer and not because I'm a psychologist or psychiatrist, but I learned on this, I call them the streets of the world, which means I didn't sit in a classroom for many years, but I got up there and I got out there. I moved to another country. I learned another language and I was out there on the streets of the world. And they can be, look, by the way, in the best way possible, don't get me wrong, but you're away from home, you're speaking another language, you're finding your way, you're making the mistakes you're going to make, and you learn from every one of those, right?
Right.
And so that was a huge part of why I just love listening to your story, because it's an extraordinary story and it should be told. So what is it, how is it that you, apart from the book, are there other ways that you're reaching out to women, women are finding you, you're helping them with their, especially younger women today? I mean, now we all need the help, but I really think that our younger generations could really benefit from gals like us.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, I am. I have a life coaching business. And so I am coaching women through various platforms. I have seminars, workshops, a retreat model, and I'm building a community. Now, here's the big, you referred to me as a visionary earlier. So here's the big vision. I'm just going to blow the bubble now. The big vision is, I call it my global 1 million women global love revolution. So my goal is to support 1 million women in going from feeling entangled inside these conflicting ideals we have of who we are that start in our childhood, just like mine did, to coming out on the other side of a journey I guide women through, in which we are empowered and living purposefully, meaningful, and serving from what I call the full cup. And so there's a very specific pathway I believe is necessary to get there. And I've tested it in my own life. And so I'm guiding women on this pathway so that we can end up on the other side, a million of us, doing the thing we're meant to do on this planet.
Yeah. And yay. That's so glorious to hear. So what is it exactly that you mean when you say that the biggest barrier for women is an emotional one?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we adopt these belief systems in childhood. I call it, Clarissa, if I could be so bold, I call it a shame-based belief system. It's rooted in shame, and it's a belief system we hold in which we identify shame being a sense of belonging, in which we identify where we feel we belong and we don't belong. So I felt I didn't matter. Another person might feel I am unwanted. I am unlovable. I will be abandoned. That's another group of people. I am too much is another.
I'm not enough.
I am, now this is interesting because there's not enough and not good enough. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because not enough is like, there's not enough of me, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the not good enough, which is a statement of deserving or worthiness.
Yes.
Yeah. And not enough, that is like a profound way to live, right?
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes, I think, a lot of it comes from the natal tribe, and no, not bashing anybody, but it is kind of, we learn from, because we're not born that way. These are all things that are acquired along the way. And so, that's life. And that's where we have to put on our big girl britches at a certain point, right? Put on our big girl britches and say, there is another way. And thank you for all the things you've taught me, but I need to go on and serve my greater good. So I'm going to go learn like you did. I'm going to go learn all the things I have to do in any way possible so that I can become the best version of me.
Right.
And the mantra being, I want to be a better person tomorrow than I am today. Right. So yay. And yes, absolutely. Why do you think so many people, though, carry this into adulthood?
Yeah.
And leadership. I mean, we do the best we know how to do with all the modalities, if you will, that we can find that help us through our journey. But, at the end of the day, are we ever really 100% healed,
Right. Well, first of all, we're speaking about this in terms that make it sound like it's really easier, it's really easy to do. And it's work, right? It's effort, it's work. Yeah. But why do we carry it into adulthood, into leadership? And there's a fundamental thing I want to get at, which is we spend most of our lives surviving it, Clarissa, right? Just because we've had to adapt as little kids to feeling the way we feel in the world. And then we're given these fantastic tools of survival, which are our skills, our gifts, our talents, and our interests. And so throughout life, I'm good at math. And so therefore, as I become an adult, I think about what kind of careers might I find myself into that can allow me to use my math skills, right? So maybe I become an accountant, or I become a finance advisor, or or I'm good at science. And so maybe I become a pharmacist or a doctor, right? And so we're looking at our skills, gifts, and talents, and that is guiding the careers that we choose for our lives.
Yeah.
But that is really a mechanism of survival.
No doubt. No doubt.
And so then what happens, we find ourselves burnt out. We find ourselves feeling overwhelmed. We're people pleasing. We're seeking approval. We are feeling like, we're seeking permission and approval. And we're feeling like imposters. And why is that? It's not because we don't have the skills, gifts, and talents to do the jobs we opted for, right? Or serve in the careers in which we serve.
Yeah.
It's because there's an out of alignment, because our soul is still desiring to fulfill a purpose, despite the fact I was good in math and chose to be a finance advisor, right? And so our soul feels out of alignment because we're only doing this thing we know to do to survive in life, inside the construct of I don't matter, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm unwanted, I'm unlovable. So we have this context happening. We're living lives inside this context of the world, which at age 8 or 7, when we defined our lives to be I'm unlovable, I don't matter, this person here is now trying to survive in this world over here, and the survival skills simply are incongruent.
No doubt.
I can't be the best that I want to be as an interior designer or a life coach if I'm still living inside the bubble in which I feel like I don't matter.
Exactly. So let's get to your book a second. I love the title. I think that is so extraordinary because I spent most of my life in high heels, So in fact, I won't even put a pair on anymore. I'm just a ballerina girl at this point. But in high heels on a ladder, just the visual itself, right? The 7 power tools for designing your life. Forgive me, for designing your life. Let's talk about the 7 power tools.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you. So obviously the in high heels on a ladder, that refers to the aspirational climb in life, right? We
Yeah.
do it. There's a figurative one in which we say climbing the ladder inside career or success. But then the one I'm referring to is that aspirational ladder of emotional growth. And then the 7 power tools are the modalities inside the framework that I created, in which we go from what I said, which is that healing, that place of healing where we made decisions about who we are, to being on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the language is really simple in the book. The first modality is own it. Own the stories, the narratives that we made up. The second modality is choose it. I made up that I don't matter, but I get to make new choices now.
Yeah,
Choose
exactly.
a new context. Forgive it. The most important part of the journey of life is forgiveness, in my opinion. It is the biggest access to
Yes.
personal freedom
Absolutely.
when you learn to forgive. Dreaming is about creating a structure of life that's built on vision and allowing that vision to be a guide. Become, because we're always becoming. Become it, love it, and live it. Those are the 7 power tools, and I guide the reader through the journey from own it to own it to live it,
Right.
in a beautiful way.
And can you tell everyone where they might be able to find the book? I know you have there on your website, tonyacomer.com/book, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah. And that
Anywhere bookstores are sold around the globe, Clarissa, you can find my book. It's on Amazon around the world. It's in Barnes & Noble bookstores, obviously, online as well. You can find it at Goodreads, and anywhere, almost any local bookstore. If they don't have it on the shelves, they have access to it.
Absolutely. You spoke before about your classes, courses, and working with women. How might people be able to access working with you?
Absolutely. The simplest way to access would be to find any of my social media. I am Tonya Comer is my handle on Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are the 2 that I use most often. You can find me there, Facebook as well.
Right. And once someone is working, how long does that is it a week? Is it a month? Is it an hour? Is it 6
It's a
months?
journey. It's a journey.
Is it a lifetime? How often?
Lifetime.
How have you? And if I come and work with you, I can expect to be in your presence. How long?
It really is going to depend on the person. My programs are designed iteratively, so I have a normal methodology, like almost any other life coach, in which you are working through programs in order to reach a desired goal. And then I also, because I'm building a community of 1 million women, there's a community aspect that is part of the work that I do as well.
Right. What's the one aspect you would say that is basically a common denominator with all of the women? I would imagine that the answer is pretty much everyone comes in there thinking they're not good enough. Right. I think that's always a common denominator with women, at least with the work that I've done. It's no matter, we look at a lot of women and think, wow, she's so successful, and what could possibly, how many women have said, Madonna said, I never thought I was good enough. People that are really successful. Is there another common denominator that you find that you want to debunk for women that are listening to you right now?
The biggest one that I want to debunk is that there's absolutely nothing wrong. Everything that we are doing inside this construct of self-empowerment, self-healing, self-help, all of that has created this stigma that there's something wrong and there's something to fix.
Right.
I don't operate inside that construct. What I operate inside a construct of is there's no good or bad. There's only opportunity for us to continue to grow into the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so the world in which we work inside my community is we're not fixing what's broken. We are creating a life in which we live our best versions of it.
Yeah. And that's just, that's where I think we all just need to be right now. always, but especially right now because of a little bit of the climate that we've got. I think we have to really take a sidestep on all of that and remember that we continually working on ourselves and not to be distracted from that. I think that's really an important place for us all to be. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to add?
Yes, thank you. Because you just said something, Clarissa, that I really want to speak to, which is you sort of mentioned the climate that we're in right now. And my work for women as a women's advocate is more important now than it's ever been. I think women are being called to reshape leadership.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time now,
Yes.
is the time for us to show up. And the only way we can do that fully is to be able to go through these journeys of healing the past so that we can rise up, honestly, rise up as our true strength and resilience and wisdom that we are, so that we can serve. Because I know that when women rise, communities rise, humanity rises, legacy shift, right?
It's a powerful, powerful thing. That sisterhood is a very, very powerful thing. I'd have to agree with you there. One last question.
It's a necessary evolution right now. It's necessary for women to evolve to where we need to this level, these levels of leadership. Thank you.
100% agreement. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank everybody. Thank us. Thank women that are of the same mindset, I think, that really want to get out there and help other women rise. I think it's an extraordinary thing that we become that sisterhood globally. There's so many women that live in countries that, are really struggling. So I say globally because I want to think of all the sisters that aren't as lucky as we are. With that having been said, the last question is, and you cannot say marriage or children. Okay. Up until now, what would you say was your crowning moment?
My crowning moment was the moment I hit my bottom. And the reason I say that is because it gave me an opportunity to really see my true resilience and to experience my own climb. And I wouldn't change a thing. As brutal as it was, I would not change a thing.
Lots to learn there. That's a whole other show, I think. Tonya Comer's Climb, everybody. We're going to come back for another show and learn all about it. Yeah. The extraordinary part is we all have our own, and as painful as it is, everyone has their story.
Right.
And this is one of the things that I think that incites me, even on some of my not so great days, to be kind to everyone, because you never know. I use that whole, walk a mile in someone else's shoes kind of philosophy. People are going through it. People are going through it. And it's really not that hard to be kind. It could be a simple gesture, just a simple gesture. And you'll never know just how important that is to somebody. Tonya, thank you so much for giving your time to us. We really got some really great, they call them golden nuggets from all of your wisdom. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to say you're welcome. Stay right there while I say goodbye to everyone and give an appointment for the next appointment with another extraordinary author, coach, teacher, and entrepreneur. You'll find them here, the most extraordinaries. We'll talk to you again real soon, everybody. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of the In the Limelight podcast, intelligent media for the savvy entrepreneur. You can listen to this and all of my podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, and Inspired News Radio. You'll find all of my videos and the In the Limelight digital magazine on clarissaburt.com. And don't forget to connect with me on social pretty much anywhere. Stay well until we meet again in the Limelight.